how would you describe the connection between the two of you in your view on the book that you wrote and Baby It's You and Million Dollar Quartet? And I know this is going to be reaching for anything, but just you pick one for the book and you pick one for the musicals.
Ah,
And
okay.
I want to see what you each pick.
Okay.
And,
we rummage around in the sandbox.
In the
and I'm
sandbox.
going to see how in this whole world of music in LA and your...
There's a lot of stuff in here.
I know that's very like a pinpointed mission of... But I have to admit, I've never seen the serendipity of you two going on about the overlap, so...
Interesting stuff. Decision.
That's a hard one, too. How do you sum up one's book or investing?
Or several musicals.
Yeah, it's not a... You can pick two, Jerry, one for each musical. And you should pick one for Orpheus.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
I'm going with her.
Wow,
Alright,
I can't wait to see why. You know what? Now I'm actually now
Now you're
I'm the one
intrigued.
that's intrigued.
All right.
So how does that tie into the musicals?
Well, first of all, she appears to me to be singing. Okay. So
Okay.
that's part of it. But in addition, she's transitional, right? She's human and she's fish.
Yes.
And to me, the musical is a truly good musical is a great story, and then the music adds to it. So that's transitional. So that's the relationship I get. Musicals are transitional between story and music. She's transitional between human and fish.
That's
I bet you
Profound.
didn't think I could come up with that one.
that was good writing. See, not just a producer, he's a writer. Man, Renaissance man. You are Renaissance, but not musicals, but also fashion, photography,
Acting.
I'm pretty much across the board
I'm
Renaissance.
not a great singer, even though I like to. But I'm working on it.
We'll get back to the fashion in 1 minute.
Okay.
But
Fashion too.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
he
don't even know
invested
about that
in
one.
a company with True Religion was the first, and then another. Yeah. And
He
so that's
covers the waterfront.
so, and how does the rose connect back to the book
The rose.
about the lyrics?
Well, actually, in the book, I wrote this book on the songs of Motown. And at one point, I described the songwriters of Motown, who were these young men from the projects, the toughest city in America. And they were writing these really enlightened, beautiful love songs. And at one point, I described it as like the flower pushing up between the cracks in the concrete. And so much of what I had to say was about how elevated people can be despite their surroundings. And so there's a very famous Smokey Robinson line where he talks about like a rosebud blooming in the warmth of the summer sun. It's growing. And so in a way, the rosebud is symbolic of beauty in the midst of whatever exists around you, that you can create beauty despite harsh conditions, beauty in the middle of hate, beauty in the middle of deprivation. And so the rosebud says it all.
Because you were talking about how in those conditions the songwriters were writing these amazing songs about love, even within those
In the midst of,
those terrible conditions.
The most challenging circumstances. And the lesson I thought was that you can elevate despite what you're surrounded by, despite what your challenges may be. And I thought it was an inspirational story. And the rosebud is so much a part of that. It's one of my favorite lines in all of music. And, he uses it to describe how love grows.
Also in your favorite, Orson Welles' Citizen Kane.
And
Rosebud.
also art blooming in challenging times during economic upheaval, but art still blossoms. So it, even through adversity, we still find higher culture and art. So that is where I was thinking of the overlap